good. It's a little windy today, but it's awesome.
So, Lori, are you social distancing? Where's your mask?
Well, I'm in my home, so I think I'm pretty safe. Yes. I do mask up for sure.
And you know, this book that you wrote, I can already see the name of the book on a mask. Have you thought about that yet?
I actually have, yes. But I'm really hoping that we get out of this pandemic and we can all stop wearing masks at some point.
Definitely. So let's talk about this book, Oh Slap. Now, when I read the title, I said, this is interesting. Tell us about what was your mindset, your creative concept, putting it together, and what is the book about?
So the book really is about self-leadership, self-development, self-empowerment. And I came up with the title, Oh Slap, because you know when you get a slap, it kind of stings, it wakes you up,
right?
Sobering. And so the book is really written in a tone of tough love. I'm trying to wake people up to the reality that they are in charge of their own destiny. And so many people are walking around kind of like robots, you know, we just going through our day-to-day lives, but complaining. There's a lot of negativity about what we haven't achieved, but people don't realize that they make the choices every day to stay in the status quo. So I want to kind of it's the proverbial slap across the face just to say, wake up a little bit, you know, let's get going. I have something to contribute greater than what I'm contributing now to the world.
And you have an extensive background in leadership. I was reading your bio. So what are some leadership principles that a reader can take from the book and apply?
You know what's so interesting is you're right. I do have an extensive background in leadership and in the people business, but this book really is about self-leadership. So the leadership that you probably read in my bio is really leadership in leading others. This book is about leading yourself, right? And so it's a different focus. And so really leading yourself is that you're in charge, you're in control. You don't need to wait for your supervisor, your preacher, your teacher, your parents, or anyone else that you consider to have authority over you or to lead you. You don't need to wait to get permission to be who you are and to display your gifts and your talents to the world. So many of us are just sitting, dividing our time, waiting for somebody to tap us on the shoulder and say, okay, I'm going to promote you. And I'm saying, if you want to promote yourself, right? You figure out a way to make that happen for yourself. Don't just wait.
You're your best brand promotion. Now, are people born leaders or do you develop leadership skills?
That's an excellent question. I think that there are some people who are naturally born leaders, but obviously not everyone. So I do think you can also develop skills. It's through behavioral modification. And my book really does give you practical steps. Leadership is really about common sense, being able to make good decisions, being able to analyze, all of your circumstances and then make the best choice based upon the information that's available to you, using critical thinking skills. All of that is about leadership, and that can be learned. I think it comes easier for some people, but obviously you can learn it.
And I'm just curious, Lori, about chapter 7, your mama don't work here. You got to tell us, what does that mean?
Yeah, so I love that chapter. I mean, I love all the chapters. I try to make it fun and funny
that's fun. All right.
When I am in the workplace, a lot of the times you have grown adults, employees that really have this sense of entitlement. And they feel like the leader, the boss, owes them certain things, including being responsible for their level of happiness, being responsible for their growth and development. And yes, there is an element where in a workplace, you need to foster an environment where people can grow and develop. But at the end of the day, your supervisor is not responsible for your financial well-being, your health and wellness, your level of happiness, right? And don't get me wrong, I like to, I really need to pause and explain this. I am not saying that an employer and an organization and a leader doesn't have responsibility for its employees. What I'm saying is that the employee also has responsibility for him or herself and their financial wealth and health, well-being, and et cetera, et cetera. So your mother doesn't work here means this is not, your mom may cater to you. She may, do all of these things, but the workplace is not a surrogate parent relationship.
Lori, what are your thoughts on the inauguration that happened a couple of days ago? You had a transfer of one leadership style. You have another leadership style coming in. What are your thoughts? How could your book, if it was in the White House, impact the White House in a way that the world has never seen before?
Wow, that is an awesome question. First of all, I was very excited about the inauguration, obviously, as everyone else was, with this transfer of power and focus now more on unity and healing of our nation, which I really think needs to happen. I think that my book also gives just practical, universal lessons for everyone about not blaming. The book is about don't blame anyone for your plight in life, and even don't blame the president. Don't blame your parents. Don't blame, one party against the other. Let's make choices that are best for you as an individual and best for the community that you serve. So I do think that the book has some relevancy in what the administration will be trying to do.
And do you think that people blame to justify behavior or to justify poor decisions? Do they blame it on, like you said, a mother or father, their upbringing, just to kind of take themselves off the hook?
I do, because it's hard work to look at yourself in the mirror. It's hard work to be exposed, that maybe it's you that did something or didn't do something that you could have or should have done. And it's hard to take that responsibility. And it's just the path of least resistance to blame. And so this book, and I talk about it at the very beginning of the chapters, I talk about this is going to be hard. You need to be willing to do the work, to do some real self-reflection and say, you know what? Everywhere I've been, every job I've taken, I've always run into problems. Why is that? Well, who's the person, the common denominator there? It's you. And so you can't escape you. And so I'm helping people deal with themselves versus trying to control others.
And I noticed that you've had some great accomplishments. You've spoken overseas in Asia and other countries. Are you speaking the same message, or does your message of leadership, does it change depending on the cultural environment of where you are?
It doesn't change. It's a consistent message that I truly believe in. I may, moderate how I say it, depending on the audience and the culture, et cetera, but the message is still the same, because at the end of the day, we're all human, we're all individuals, and we all have choices. And that's what the book is about you have a choice, I have a choice, and those choices yield reward or consequence. And intelligent choices, in the book, you'll see that I've coined a phrase called I choice.
I saw that.
Yeah,
right.
It stands for intelligent, intentional, inspired, individual choice.
Awesome.
And you break all of those down, and that's what I want to instill in others. And when you do that, you're empowered. Don't do that. When your choice is not your individual choice, but someone else's, you're disempowered.
So what's great about being Lori Gentles?
Oh, goodness. What's great about being Lori Gentles? I think that one of the things that I can say about being who I am is that I think I have a great perspective, on life, and that will show in the book. I say that perspective is a choice, but a positive perspective is a gift. And so I think I have a positive perspective. I'm always looking for the possibilities, right? I don't want to get stuck, and I don't want to ever feel like there's not a move that I can make. Even as simple or as microscopic as it might be, even those microscopic moves over time are compounded. And, you know, you look back and it's like, wow, I didn't realize how far I came. And so inch by inch, you know, you grow. You don't have to wait for big sweeping changes. Make small moves, and small steps will get you there. So I think that that's my perspective and my approach to life.
And I like your optimism. You know, you're very optimistic. Your steps are calculated. All right, Lori, tell us, what can the world expect in 2021? You have this book. It's blowing up. What's coming next with you?
You know, I am getting such good feedback from the book. People are saying you need to write this for people that are children, younger. They don't have to wait 20 and 30 years and 40 years down the line before they start making intelligent choices for themselves. So looking at that, how can I modify the book for younger children to start teaching them not to be entitled, but to be empowered? Because those little children grow up and they go into the workplace and they become the people that I'm talking about in the book. So looking at other projects like that, really promoting this book, doing some workshops around the topic of choice, things like that. So we'll see.
And I see you, Lori, instead of selling the book, this is a book I can see, well, it's selling it, of course, but serving it, because there's so much content and skills and motivation and, you know, strategies on how to better yourself. You're actually serving people a better way of living. And I think that is just powerful and amazing. How can people secure their copy today? How can we follow you? How can we support you?
Thank you. And first, let me say, you know, I acknowledge what you just said. Thank you for saying that, because I think that the book was a passion project. It was bringing value to the world. And when you bring value to the world, it comes back to you. So that's what I'm trying to do in serving up this message. And I will say that the book is out. It's doing well. You can grab a copy on Amazon.com.
Lori, we want an autograph copy. How do we get the signature?
You know, if you can DM me on Instagram at We Are iChoice. Let me know you got a copy, or I can send you a copy and autograph it for you. So we can work that out if you really want an autographed copy. So We Are iChoice on Instagram, Amazon.com to purchase a copy, and I also have the Choices Company at thechoicescompany.com if you want to talk to me about doing a workshop or a keynote presentation or anything of that nature for your organization.
Okay. Well, everybody, this is the one and only author, Lori Gentles. The book is not called Oh Snap, but it's called Oh Slap. Make sure you go order her book online. Get it right now today. Read the book. Encourage other people to get the book as well. Lori, thank you so much for coming on the show. We're grateful to have you, and we wish the best for you.
It was my pleasure. Thank you.
And make sure you come back when the next book comes out.
I sure will. Thanks.
All right, everybody. Hey, we got to go to commercial. You know, we have to pay those bills. We'll be right back.